So today we're doing a deep dive into something a little different. We've been given a single, really intense personal account, a whole chronicle of events that, well, they just don't have a normal explanation. Our mission is to really just peel back the layers here.
Right, and it's interesting because we're not pulling from multiple sources. We're treating this one, very detailed, first-hand account, as our entire world. We have to approach it like a forensic report, trying to understand what happened when this person, Emily, came home.
And the atmosphere is just so key. It all starts with this big life change. Leaving the city, all that chaos for the quiet country life, they find this old two-story house.
And it's nestled right up against a forest, a vast forest.
But the narrator says it was, unnaturally still, Emily. She loved the woods, but he felt it immediately. Something was off.
Yeah, that silence is the main character at the start. It's not a peaceful silence. He calls it an inert silence. Heavy clouds, but no wind.
Yeah.
No leaves rustling, no insects buzzing, nothing.
It's like the whole world is holding its breath.
Exactly. It's like an ecosystem that isn't functioning. It immediately establishes that the place itself is wrong.
And before anything even happens to a person, the first alarm bell goes off.
Yeah.
Murphy.
The dog.
Murphy's reaction, that's our first quantifiable piece of data. He just stops being a dog. The tail wagging just ceases. But then when he gets near the tree line,
He backs away.
ears flat, tail cut completely under. It's not like he smells a raccoon or something. The narrator says it was like the dog was facing down some kind of apex predator.
Or that the forest itself was the threat.
Right. It's a primal warning.
A warning that, of course, Emily doesn't heed. She goes for a hike. Alone. Into that stillness.
She leaves early afternoon, and the hours just tick by.
I can just imagine the dread building as the sun goes down and evening sets in.
And then she returns, and that's it. That's the moment the entire story pivots.
Let's break that down. What did he see that just screamed, "This is not right"?
The first thing was her movement. It was just too slow, like walking was something she had to think about. Step, then another step. Not natural.
Not at all. And her appearance was a total contradiction. She was pale, looked exhausted, but her forehead was like glistening with sweat.
Her clothes were damp and dirty, but no scrapes, no bruises.
No sign of a fall, nothing like that. But then you get to the detail that just breaks all the rules.
Her boots.
Her boots were soaked.
And he makes it crystal clear. No rain for days. The ground was dry. Dusty, even.
So where did the water come from? It suggests she didn't just step in a puddle. It suggests she had to cross something.
A barrier.
A liminal space. Like in stories, water is always a gateway between worlds, right? It's like the thing that came back had to get wet to cross over, and it brought the evidence back with it.
And her face. Her expression.
Just a blank. That's the word he uses. Vacant. Not scared, not angry, just empty.
Like someone who woke up in a stranger's life.
Which brings us right back to Murphy. If the dog was the barometer for the woods.
His reaction to her is the real confirmation.
That growl. He'd never heard the dog make a sound like that.
A deep, guttural sound.
It was pure rejection. He didn't just run and hide. He backed away, slow and stiff, treating her like a predator. The dog's instincts were screaming that the person he knew, her biological signature, was just gone. Replaced by something profoundly, intrinsically other.
So if the woods rejected her, her own dog rejects her. What about her own body? This is where the story just goes into this deeply uncanny territory.
We have to start with her eyes, because this becomes the central conflict.
The unblinking gaze.
And we're not talking about just, forgetting to blink for a few extra seconds.
Yeah, there's minutes.
Minutes at a time, staring at her phone or the wall and just not blinking.
He describes this strain around her eyes.
Yeah.
The redness, the dark circles.
It's a conscious act. She is fighting her own body's most basic reflex. And you have to ask why. Why fight that hard?
What's the implication?
Well, blinking is like a tiny reset for the brain, right? A momentary break. If whatever is inside her is struggling to hold on, maybe that tiny reset is enough to break the connection.
So never blinking means staying vigilant, staying anchored here.
Exactly. It ties directly into what we learn later about not sleeping.
And it wasn't just her eyes. Her whole body seemed disconnected. He called it adjusting to herself.
That phrase is perfect. It's like a new driver in a car they've never seen before.
He gives that example of her getting into bed.
Yeah. She's pulling back the covers, and her hand just freezes. Hovers there, totally rigid, for a few seconds before slowly, deliberately finishing the motion.
Like she forgot what the next step was.
A total failure of muscle memory. It's as if the entity had to consciously access the file for get into bed and execute the command.
It's the uncanny valley, but in your own home, with your own partner. She looks right, but she moves all wrong.
Precisely. And that physical decoupling, it goes so much deeper than just movement.
The metabolism.
The cold, her skin was cold like stone.
And he tests it. He sees her outside, barefoot in the frost. He can see his own breath. He's got goosebumps.
She's just standing there. No shivering, no goosebumps, no visible breath in the cold air, nothing.
It's like her internal furnace is just off. She isn't just cold, she's metabolically inert.
Which leads to the most terrifying discovery of all. Waking up in the middle of the night.
And she's sitting on the edge of the bed, stiff as a board.
And he checks. He holds his hand in front of her mouth, watches her shoulders.
And she's not breathing.
Verifiably not breathing. So you have this impossible paradox. A body that walks and talks and even eats, but it lacks the most fundamental requirements for life.
Respiration, body heat.
It seems the entity doesn't need them. It's just forcing the machine to run, creating this horrifying illusion of life.
An illusion that Murphy, the dog, eventually sees right through.
Right. His reaction changes again. It goes from fear to something worse.
Non-acknowledgement.
He starts looking at the space next to her, or right through her, like she's not even there anymore. Like she doesn't register as a living thing.
So with all this mounting, the narrator finally reaches out. He tries to find some context. He talks to a local shopkeeper.
And that old man, he's the external proof. He confirms this isn't just some private breakdown.
The moment he mentions his wife, Emily, when hiking.
The guy just freezes. No, oh, is she okay? Just fear.
And then he says it. Something stay in the woods.
Followed by the two lines that just define everything. If she came back, she wasn't supposed to.
Oh, let us sleep.
Wasn't supposed to. That implies her return was a mistake. A glitch in the system. The woods were supposed to keep her.
And don't let us sleep. That is us. It's a collective warning. This has happened before.
It connects his personal horror to a hidden local history and reinforces that idea of vigilance, not blinking, not sleeping. It's the only defense.
Which sends him down a rabbit hole of late-night research.
And he finds it. A grainy 30-year-old newspaper article, Margaret Delaney.
Vanished. In the exact same forest.
Presumed dead, only 2 months later, just walk back into town.
And the husband's quote. It's just chilling. It wasn't her, not really.
It's the exact same story. This turns it from a one-off tragedy into a cyclical event, a local legend that's terrifyingly real.
The forest doesn't just take people, it sends something back.
And the article ends with Margaret Delaney vanishing again, this time for good, setting this awful precedent for what's going to happen to Emily.
Which brings us to the end, the final night. He finds her in the living room, unresponsive, just staring.
But then something happens. Something that shows the conflict isn't just external, it's internal.
The silent tears.
Yes. Her body is trembling and tears are just streaming down her face. But her expression...
It's blank.
Completely blank. It's as if the mind, the entity in control, refuses to show emotion. But the body, the physical vessel, is reacting with overwhelming sorrow.
It's the original Emily.
It has to be. She's a prisoner in her own body, and the autonomic response crying is breaking through. The body is weeping for the soul that's trapped inside.
It's the body fighting back. And that pressure, it finally forces a confession.
The words just tumble out.
I can't blink.
Confirming the whole struggle.
If I blink, I'll go back.
There it is. The exit mechanism.
And then the most devastating line of all. I was never supposed to leave.
Which confirms the shopkeeper's warning. Her return was a violation of the rules of that place. The blink is what snaps the connection. It's the reset button that sends her back.
And her body is failing. Breathing is a conscious effort. He's holding her, trying to keep her anchored, trying to keep her eyes open.
But she can't hold on.
Her eyelids flutter. She blinks.
And in that instant, she vanishes. Not falls, not fades, just vanishes from his arms.
Leaving nothing but empty air.
So what we're left with is this chilling portrait of an identity replacement, facilitated by a specific anomalous place. And the entity that came back, it had to fight biology itself. It had to suppress a basic reflex just to maintain its foothold in our reality.
And the second it fails, it's gone.
Wiped clean.
And the final proof, Murphy the dog.
Instantly. The second she vanishes, his tail starts thumping on the floor. He's back to normal, looking for his owner. The threat was gone.
The house was cleansed.
Completely and instantly. The anomaly was tied only to her physical presence.
So you're thinking about that shopkeeper's warning, don't let us sleep. If blinking was the way back, What exactly was she fighting so desperately to stay away from?
And what about those tears? If the body was crying against the will of the thing controlling it, what does that say about the final moments? Was it a struggle? Was it sorrow?
It leaves you with this really disturbing thought that sometimes the fight to stay here in the light is just the last desperate attempt to keep the door to whatever's in the dark from slamming shut forever. Something for you to mull over.